This is a job where we've done a French drain along this side of the house here. It starts at that downspout and it goes to the sump pump. This is a house that is set largely below the street, and the backyard heads directly into somebody else's property. So in these kind of situations, you normally cannot run the drainage backwards. So what the contractors will do, what I've observed, is they will base the drainage design on that elevation from the street to the curb. A lot of times I find, other drainage stuff that's abandoned, or sometimes it's because it was dry for so long, or it just doesn't work at all. So in this kind of situation, we have to pump the water to the street, and which is usually in violation of stormwater, city codes, whatever. But as you can see, this discharge pipe, if it were placed anywhere on the property in the front here, it would just be a recirculation effect. And customers will try to minimize the number of downspouts, but the square footage of the roof and also the design of the house, right where a low spot is, where there has to be a downspout, there's a gate, there's a walkway. Typically nobody wants a downspout there, but still the amount of water coming off the roof and the way the house is, and also the rule of thumb for gutters is you have to have a downspout every 35 feet. So here to install a rain chain, but the slope is dried out, and this is typically how we will do the discharge lines. This has been mushed by the boulder delivery companies. A little bit of concrete and rock's not gonna win that fight. These typically in my drainage systems are clean out points. This is the other contractor. It's corrugated pipe. It starts here, it goes across the driveway. It doesn't do really anything for this slope. So the sump pump is a basin that's 30 inches deep. It's got a duplex sump pump system in there. What that means is both pumps can operate at the same time, and one sits a little bit higher than the other to operate as the main, and the other one there runs in the heavy downpours or when the main fails. And this is typically how I do the power. Don't use the GFCI outlet, so that if it trips the breaker, customers will know it. In a perfect world, or whenever possible, we'll install a dedicated circuit for the pump. However, it's not always possible, practical, or necessary. What seems to work well is to tap into the closest outlet to the pump installation. This I can do as a flat fee. If the circuit panel were on this wall, I would include a dedicated circuit and an extra charge. So this is how, and also why, we do sump pump installations with French drains. The French drains actually have to be lower than the lowest point in the slab to keep this room dry from the slope. So your starting point in the backyard is about 10 inches down. By the time our drains are to this third clean out point, and these are the clean out points. So our drain is down there pretty far, but it's also, the whole thing is sloping. We kind of re-sloped it here. So the point is like this pipe is set lower than the slab. So that'll keep the moisture from coming out. Also, whenever possible, we will run a separate line for the downspouts. You're not really supposed to mix a French drain system with downspouts. In a situation like this, there's just not room. There's a footing for the house, there's a footing for the wall. So our pipe barely fit in here, and we can't run two pipes, but that is by the book, is to run separate pipes for the downspouts. And this is in Santee, California.